Are you an established small business owner or aspiring entrepreneur? Would you like professional advice to help your business grow and succeed? Well, look no further. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center is the territory's #1 resource to move your business forward. Enjoy no-cost advising, low-cost training, and technical assistance from experts in both the public and private sectors. The VISBDC is nationally accredited and sustained by the University of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. Small Business Administration. Visit us at our locations on St. Thomas, St. John, or St. Croix, and follow us on social media at VISBDC. For easy access to all our training and networking events, be sure to join our newsletter and download the VISBDC app. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center, here to help your business start, grow, and succeed.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Greetings on behalf of the VISPDC network. We welcome you to Leveraging AI for Small Business Longevity, AI in Marketing, Sales, and Customer Experience. Participants will learn how to tap into the power of AI for more impactful marketing, stronger sales strategies, and exceptional customer experiences. This session will feature tools and prompts for generating social media content, email campaigns, sales scripts, and customer surveys. Whether you're launching a new product or nurturing loyal clients, you will leave with the actionable tools to boost visibility and connection. Allow me to introduce today's lead presenter, VISPDC advisor, Celia Kalusek. Celia Kalusek is a business consultant, educator, and lifelong learner dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and organizations harness innovation for growth. As owner of Peak Potential LLC and a facilitator for the VI Small Business Development Center, Celia specializes in professional development, digital literacy, and workforce advancement across the Virgin Islands. With over 30 years of experience in business management, community development, and nonprofit leadership, including 10 years as director of the St. John Community Foundation, she has guided countless small business owners through strategic planning, operational streamlining, and now the practical use of artificial intelligence to save time, increase productivity, and boost creativity. Celia is passionate about helping entrepreneurs tap their potential through collaboration, innovation, and lifelong learning. Here's a friendly reminder to place your questions in the chat, and they will be addressed by the presenting team either directly in the chat or later during our question and answer segment. A copy of today's presentation will be attached to the post survey email after this live session. We encourage you to take a few minutes of your time to briefly fill out the survey that lets us know how we are doing. This data is essential to us rendering these deliverables complimentary to you. So without further ado, Celia, the floor is yours.
Hey, and thank you, Sharika. And to those of you who have joined earlier in the series, welcome back to the AI Advantage. This is the third session in our four-part series on using AI along the business life wheel. In our earlier sessions, we explored how AI can help you keep your business in balance and how it supports your financials, operations, and strategy. Now, as Sharika mentioned, I'm Celia, your facilitator for today's AI Advantage workshop. And before launching Peak Potential LLC or stepping into my current roles as the St. John SBDC Business Advisor and Program Manager right here at the St. John CRDC, I spent 13 years running an advertising agency in Atlanta. So marketing is still one of my favorite topics. And today we're diving into the creative, customer-facing side of business, focusing on marketing, sales, and customer experience. This is where AI really shines, helping you connect, communicate, and build relationships that last. So before we dive into the examples and exercises here, let's touch base on the main platforms you'll hear me mention today. These are all part of the category called generative AI, meaning they generate stuff. They can actually create things like text and images and summaries and ideas, even strategies. These are the big four. They have their own strengths. ChatGPT is great for conversation content. Gemini integrates with Google tools. Claude is known for reading long documents with accuracy, and Perplexity shines for research and organization. Think of them like virtual collaborators. You'll ask a question or give instruction, and they respond in seconds, ready for you to edit or build on. And the more clear your prompt is, the better the results are. That's really the secret to saving time while keeping your content smart and consistent, which is why I'll be giving you a bunch of prompts as I go through each topic I cover today. And as a reminder, Sharika said, you will have access to the slides, so don't worry if you miss something as we work through today's session. This slide is the heart of what we're covering today: how AI can help you tell your story in a way that saves time, builds consistency, and strengthens connection. Our focus is simple. First, how to use AI to build clear, consistent content that sounds like you, fresh, on brand, and ready to share. Second, how to improve your communication and connection so people feel informed, valued, and supported every step of the way. And third, how to increase sales efficiency and follow through using AI to stay organized, automate simple tasks, and turn interest into action. By the end of this hour, my goal is that you'll not only understand what these tools can do, but feel confident using them and using them smarter. So your marketing, your sales, and your customer experience all work together seamlessly. Before we get tactical, I want to come back to something we touched in part one: balance. You can't build a balanced business if you feel off balance. This is an example of a life wheel. It's simple, but a powerful way to visualize how balanced your life really feels. Each section of the wheel represents an important part of your well-being: health, relationships, finances, and other important areas in your life. When one of those slices is not fulfilled, you feel it everywhere. Maybe you're thriving in your work, but your health or relationships have taken a back seat. Or if you show up to work exhausted, and that energy, or lack of it, can spill right into your customer interactions. When you're rested, centered, and connected, your creativity expands, your decisions get sharper, and your leadership gets stronger. So as we move through today, keep this wheel in mind. It's about bringing a more balanced you for a more balanced business. And speaking of business, this is a business life wheel. And it's what we've been using to look at all parts of keeping your company running. And just like in life, when one area weakens, the whole wheel starts to wobble. Marketing, sales, and customer service are only a part of the pie, but they're the part that everybody sees first. They're the outward expression of everything else you've built. If your operations or systems are messy, your marketing will feel confusing. If your leadership or finances are shaky, your customer experience will show it. That's why we keep coming back to the full wheel, because every part connects. AI can support each slice, but it's most powerful when you know which area needs the most attention. Today, we'll focus on how it strengthens these outward-facing elements of doing business. Before we get too deep into the content and the marketing tools, let's take a moment to talk about organization, setting up your digital workspace. I explained in the first part of the series, when you start using AI, especially across multiple platforms, it's easy for things to get scattered. Notes in one thread, drafts in another, screenshots everywhere. What helps is creating clear digital workspaces, just like these. Here you can see how I set one up in Perplexity, where you can track and organize ideas, prompts, and responses for each area of your business wheel. You can also do that in ChatGPT or any of the other generative AI platforms. Then what to do with all of that? I use Google Drive. That's where I keep folders that match those same areas, things like marketing, operations, fiscal, products and services, and so on. And of course, you'll set up various folders within each of those folders about the topics we cover, as we will today. The goal is to give every idea a home. That way, when inspiration hits or when you're ready to create content, you know exactly where to put it and where to find it again later. It keeps your workflow calm, consistent, and ready for growth. And remember, AI learns from the context you give it. So having organized notes, past posts, and brand guidelines ready, it makes every prompt stronger. So now that we've laid out the foundation with the personal life wheel, the business life wheel, and how to set up your organized workspaces, I want to check in and see if there's any questions about that before we dive into the main focus of this session. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat and Sharika will call them out to me.
Correct. No questions at this time.
All right. Well, let's move right on into the slide. When it comes to marketing, one of the biggest mistakes small businesses try to make is trying to talk to everyone. The problem is when your message is for everyone, it connects deeply with no one. AI can help you narrow your focus. You can ask it to describe your ideal customer, not just demographics like age or income, but what actually motivates them to buy. For example, maybe you're running a local wellness brand. You can ask, describe my ideal customer for a local wellness brand here in the Virgin Islands. Or if you're in solar, you might say, what are 3 motivations for people buying solar systems in the Caribbean? The more details you share, things like location, lifestyle, budget, and values, the smarter and more personalized your results become. It's like having a mini marketing analyst right at your fingertips, helping you see who your audience really is before you even spend $1 on outreach. Once you know who your ideal customer is, the next step is to recognize that not all of them are on the same, or not all of them are the same. Even within your audience, people are motivated by different things, and that's where segmentation comes in. AI can help you group your customers based on what drives them, things like their goals, values, or purchasing habits. For instance, some people might buy solar systems to save money, others because they care about sustainability, and some simply for energy independence. And we all know here with WAPA and that insecurity, we need energy independence. Those are 3 very different motivations, and AI can help you craft a message that speaks to each one of these audiences. You can even prompt it to break your audience into categories. For instance, based on this customer profile, suggest 3 audience groups I could target with slightly different messaging. It's like having a marketing research team working in the background, sorting your audience so you can focus on what matters most, creating messages that feel personal, not generic. And I just noticed some squiggly marks on my screen. Sharika, is that distracting? Should I try to unshare and
Maybe
share
you might have
again?
to stop sharing and share again and see if it disappears.
Okay, good. Stop share. Oh, it did. So let me share again. All right, now that's nice and clean. So now, once you've segmented your audience, the next step is tailoring your message so it speaks directly to each group. This is where AI really shines because it can help you adjust your tone and content without losing your core message. For example, say you have one main post or caption. You can ask AI to rewrite it for the different audiences. Maybe one version for younger customers that's more visual and upbeat, and another for professionals that's clear and data driven, and a third for locals that might feel warm and community oriented. A simple prompt might be, rewrite this caption for 3 different audiences, Gen Z, professionals, and local community members. And you'll get 3 tailored versions that still sound like you. That's the beauty of target marketing. When it's done right, people don't feel like they're being sold. They feel like you understand and are talking to them. See? Okay, before we talk about brand voice, let's talk about what a brand actually is. A brand isn't just your logo or color scheme. It's the feeling that people get when they experience your business. It's your promise, your tone, your visuals, and how consistently you show up. AI can help you define those elements from scratch or tighten up what you already have. You can ask Describe a color palette and font combination that fits a modern, community-driven solar company, or create 3 logo concepts that feel clean, eco-friendly, and professional. Tools like Canva Magic Studio, Microsoft Designer, and Adobe Firefly can generate mockups instantly. Logos, flyers, social media templates, even business cards. Start with the free versions. Often they're more than enough. If you find yourself hitting limits, like needing transparent backgrounds or brand folders or team collaboration, that's when an upgrade makes sense. The important thing is to refine. Keep revising your colors, fonts, imagery until everything feels cohesive and feels like something the way you want to portray things. Your goal is recognition. People should feel your brand before they read your name. Once you've defined your brand identity, AI can help you apply it everywhere: your website, social media posts, emails, and printed materials. This consistently builds trust, and trust is what turns curiosity into loyalty. Now that you have the look and feel of your brand, let's talk about the sound, your brand voice. One of the hardest things for small businesses is staying consistent. You might write your own post one day and have an assistant write the next, and suddenly it feels like 2 different people are talking. AI can fix that. Start by feeding it a sample of something that sounds like you. Then ask, analyze this paragraph and describe the tone and style. Once it tells you, maybe it says something like friendly, confident, conversational, you can save that description and reuse it. Then the next time you write a prompt, you can say, write this post in my brand voice: friendly, confident, and community focused. It's like giving your AI an accent. It always speaks your language. Over time, that consistency builds credibility and helps people recognize your message anywhere they see it or hear it. All right, let's talk visuals. The first impression people get before they ever read a word. We live in a scroll and swipe world. A strong image stops the thumb and a weak one gets passed right on by. It's kind of like billboards along the highway. If you have you really do have a short window of time to capture someone's attention. AI can help you create attention-grabbing graphics, even if you're not a designer. Like I mentioned, tools like Canva Magic Studio, Microsoft Designer, and Adobe Firefly are my go-to trio. Canva Magic Studio is intuitive. You can generate flyers, social media, or brochures in seconds. The free version works great, and you can upgrade later if you need extra templates or brand folders. Microsoft Designer links beautifully with LinkedIn and Office 365. It's simple for social graphics or quick product posts. Adobe Firefly gives you a bit more creative power. It can generate realistic mock-ups, change backgrounds, or stylize product shots. All 3 have free versions. My rule of thumb: stick with the free until you hit a wall, like needing transparent logos, animations, or team sharing. That's when a small paid plan might make some sense. And don't settle on your first try. Keep revising your visuals until they feel right. For example, create 3 logo variations in green and blue tones that look fresh, modern, and connected to renewable energy. Then tweak it. Make version number 2 bolder with circular symbol that suggests unity. Every revision gets you closer to something that feels authentically you. Think of visuals as the heartbeat of your marketing. Logos, flyers, product shots, social templates. AI just makes the process faster and a lot more fun. Now, for the what and how of using AI for ideas, drafting, and summarizing. Once you get your visuals and once they look great and feel good, you need words that carry that same energy. This is where AI can really help again, not to replace your creativity, but to jumpstart it. You can use AI for 3 main things: brainstorming, drafting, and summarizing. For brainstorming, think of it like a creative assistant that never runs out of ideas. You can ask, give me 10 post ideas for a small eco-tour company that highlights sustainability and community. You may get a mix of angles. Some you'll love, some you'll tweak, but it saves hours of staring at a blank page. Then comes drafting. Maybe you need a caption or a short post. Try this. Write a friendly, upbeat social media caption inviting locals to a beach cleanup. You'll get a clean, structured first draft that you can then rewrite in your own tone. And finally, summarizing. AI can take your longer articles, reports, or blogs and condense them into bite-sized pieces for social media. You might try, summarize this 800-word article into a 3-sentence Facebook post. This is perfect for repurposing content across platforms. The key takeaway here is AI gives you the momentum, you bring the magic. Next up, the why, bringing your human voice, story, and local personality into the mix. Now that you got the mechanics of creating content, let's talk about something even more important, keeping it authentic. AI is an incredible tool, but it doesn't know you yet. It has to learn your story, your humor, the rhythm of the island life that shapes how you speak and connect. So whenever you use AI to generate content, take a few moments to personalize it. Add your perspective, a quick story, a local reference, or something that makes people think, oh, that's them. For example, if AI writes a nice generic post about customer service, you might add a line like, around here, good service starts with a smile and ends with a neighborly wave. You can even prompt AI to help you sound more like yourself. You can say, rewrite this caption to sound like a friendly St. John business owner talking to regular customers. That's what makes your message feel human and real, when people hear you in the words. So the last piece of the puzzle is consistency and staying on brand. Your audience should recognize your voice and style no matter where they see you, whether it's an email, an Instagram post, or a flyer. AI can help you do this easily. You can paste a piece of writing that already sounds like you and ask, analyze this paragraph and describe my brand tone. Maybe it comes back with friendly, confident, and community focused. That's your brand voice, your North Star for all communications. Then every time you write, you can include that instructions right in your prompt. For instance, write this caption in my brand voice, friendly, confident, and community focused. You can also ask AI to review your content for consistency. For instance, does this post sound like my brand? If not, what should I adjust? Over time, these small habits make a huge difference. People start to recognize your message even before they see your logo because it feels familiar and trustworthy and true to who you are. That's what staying on brand really means. It's about alignment, not perfection. Revisit this slide for a few other prompts that might be helpful, because I want to pause here first to see if there's any questions before moving on.
We do have a question. Celia, which is the best AI tool to use to produce the 1-minute video script?
You know what? It depends. Are you talking the platform like ChatGPT or an additional tool like the tools that I mentioned before? If you're stuck on that, you can actually ask ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or whatever generator of AI you use and ask them that question, because it's all going to be based on what your business is around, what kind of output you want. So just keep asking those questions and refine those questions, and you'll find something that's a perfect fit for you, because it may not be what I find to be the most useful tool for my business, because your business and my business is different. So I would suggest asking ChatGPT, giving them more information about what you're trying to produce, what the outcome is, what kind of business you have, where you're going to post it. So those kind of things would help. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Perfect. So now let's talk about social media. One of the biggest time drains for small business owners, but also one of the most powerful ways to stay visible. Here's the key idea. Showing up consistently doesn't mean posting constantly. It means showing up predictably with content that adds value instead of noise. Tools like ChatGPT, Later, or Metricool can help you plan ahead. If you're unsure of what one to use, again, like I just said in that previous question, ask ChatGPT what these tools are, how you might consider using them. And then when it comes to scheduling, you can ask for a full content calendar, maybe 4 weeks of posts with themes like community, freshness, or behind the scenes stories. AI will even suggest the best times to post when your audience is actually scrolling, not just when you finally have the time and finally have a spare 5 minutes. Think of it like this. When you schedule smart, you free up your energy for creativity. Now let's talk about two simple things that make a big difference: hashtags and timing. Hashtags are like digital magnets. They help new audiences find your content through searches and shared interests. You can ask AI to generate a mix of popular and niche hashtags and then test which ones bring engagement for you. A simple prompt could be, suggest 10 hashtags for a wellness business on St. John, focused on mindfulness and island living. Timing also matters. AI tools can analyze when your followers are most active, maybe early morning, during lunch, or in the evening, so your posts land when people are actually online. That's how you work smarter, not harder, letting data guide your rhythm instead of guesswork. Now that we've talked about timing and planning, let's look at where you're showing up and how your message changes depending on the platform. Each platform has its own personality, its own rhythm. Facebook is perfect for community updates and event sharing. That's where you connect with people who already know you. Instagram is all about visuals and storytelling, using photos, behind-the-scene moments, and short reels to bring your brand to life. LinkedIn is your professional image. It's great for partnerships, credibility, and sharing expertise. And then there's TikTok or the YouTube shorts. Those are ideal for quick educational clips or fun, engaging moments that build reach fast. Here's the key. You don't have to be everywhere. Pick a couple of platforms where your audience already spends time and where you actually enjoy showing up, and do those really well. And when you want to stretch your content, AI can adapt it across those platforms. You can say, rewrite this Instagram caption for a LinkedIn using a more professional tone. Or you can say, turn this blog paragraph into a 30-second TikTok script. AI helps you match the tone to the audience, playful for Instagram, and informative for LinkedIn, and conversational for Facebook. That's how you stay consistent without sounding like you copied and pasted, because the goal is to show up in your audience's world, speaking their language while staying true to yours. Now let's move to email. Still one of the most personal ways to reach your customers. Platforms like HubSpot, MailerLite, and ConvertKit use AI to help you segment lists so each audience gets what's relevant, test subject lines, and track open rates or click-throughs. Segmentation simply means dividing your contacts into groups, maybe customers, prospects, or partners. You can ask, create 3 audience segments for my handmade jewelry business based on interest level and purchase history. Then use AI to personalize each message. Write a short email to past customers announcing a new ocean-inspired collection. Testing subject lines is easy too. Give me 5 subject line variations that feel warm and curious between 35 and 45 characters. AI helps you measure what works so your message doesn't get lost in inboxes. Think of it this way. Social media brings people to your world, but email keeps them there. Now let's talk about being found. Search engine optimization, or SEO, used to be a mystery that required expensive agencies. They'd research keywords, write meta descriptions, and optimize blogs for Google ranking. Now, AI does most of this for, there we go, SEO, back to SEO, sorry. Now, AI does much of that groundwork quickly and affordably. You can ask AI to suggest 15 keywords for a Caribbean boutique hotel focused on sustainability and local culture, or write 3 meta descriptions for each keyword under 160 characters, and another, create 5 blog titles using those keywords naturally. You can develop it even further. Draft a blog outline using the keywords eco-friendly travel in the Virgin Islands. Include intro, 3 subtopics, and a closing call to action. The blog outline that will be generated by that prompt is just the skeleton. It'll be the headings, flow, and key points. Once AI builds it, then you fill in your stories and examples. So instead of paying an agency to guess what works, you create content tuned precisely to your audience in your voice. Behind every strong brand is a story. Why you started, what you care about, and who you serve. People remember stories more than slogans. They want to feel connected. AI can help you shape that story clearly. For example, help me write my brand story in 3 paragraphs. Why I started my business, who I serve, and what makes us unique. You can even go a step before that and say, what do you need to know to help me create my brand story? And it will ask you questions like why you started your business, who you serve, and what makes you unique. This gives you structure. You bring the heart. Once you have it, use that story everywhere on your website, about page, in proposals, in social media campaigns, even in staff training. Your story reminds people and you of your purpose, and AI helps you express it with polish without losing your humanity. So far, we've talked about attracting attention. Now let's talk about what happens once people start showing interest. And Sharika, I just want you to let you know, interrupt me whenever you see a chat in the box, and I'll just keep this flow going.
Okay, well, I can interrupt you now. I
Okay.
believe you covered some of this before, but can you talk more about how to find out the best time to post? Like, what is the prompt do you use?
Say that again, the best time to post?
Yeah. Can you talk more
Okay.
about how to find out the best time to post? What is the prompt you should use?
Okay. You literally, the question you just asked me, you can ask ChatGPT. Once they get an idea of what your business is and who your audience is, they will know when that audience is online. And so just type in and say, based on my target audience and my business, what is the best time for me to post? It's going to be different for everybody. If you're talking to Gen Zers, it's not going to be at the same time as it would be for 60, 70-year-olds. So you've just got to know and be clear about who your audience is. And then Generative AI can tell you what time to post.
And Celia, if I may add, some of the platforms we're already connected to in terms of the followers that we have looking at our page. If you're building out content using a planner, like in Facebook, you have the business suite, or even Instagram, they give suggestions. Once you have to schedule a post and choose a time, there should be a line at the bottom that highlights how many followers are likely to be online at 7 p.m. or so forth. So that also helps.
Perfect. Great point, Sharika. Great point. And I bet if you typed into your ChatGPT or whatever platform you use and you're asking them about timing, they would probably ask you, what platform are you talking about? And then they could probably say exactly what Sharika just said, give you more tips on how to make that effective. Perfect. All right. So far, just as a reminder, we've talked about attracting attention, and now we're going to talk about what happens once people start showing interest. Marketing opens the door. Sales is what happens once people start walking through it. AI can help you nurture those new relationships without feeling salesy. One of the easiest ways to start is with chatbots. Those small assistants that live on your website or your Facebook page. Now, we could have a whole nother session on chatbots, and how to use them, but we're touching on it here, and I'll go into detail on some. But again, you can talk to your platform, ChatGPT, and say, I want to use this chatbot. How do I dive deeper into this based on, and you tell them more about your business. They can answer questions like pricing, hours, or availability, even while you're asleep or out in the field. That means customers get quick answers and you stay focused on higher value work. Many tools like ManyChat, Tito, or Facebook's own Messenger automation let you program friendly conversational responses. And the best part, you can train them to sound exactly like you. For example, you can say, write 5 friendly responses for a chatbot that helps visitors learn about our services and then prompts them to request a quote. Chatbots don't replace real connection. They simply make sure no opportunity slips through the cracks. They're your 24/7 welcome mat, always ready to greet customers when you can't. So these tools that I mentioned in the last slide, ManyChat, Tito, and Facebook Messenger automation are chatbot platforms. They're the tools that let you build and run your chatbot, kind of like using Canva to make graphics or MailerLite to send emails. As I go through these tools, remember, as I mentioned, you can use ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever AI platform you use to guide you through how to get started. They'll even give you checklists and ask you questions of what they need to know. Let's dive deeper into ManyChat. It integrates directly with Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp. It lets you automate chat flows, messages that appears when someone clicks message on your page. For simple, frequently asked questions, lead collection, and even sending coupons or links. The free version is usually plenty for small businesses. How to prompt or use it. You don't talk to ManyChat like ChatGPT. Instead, you build your conversation using its visual editor. You can create triggers and replies. Here's an example workflow. In ManyChat, create a new flow. Then choose a trigger. For instance, when someone sends a message containing the word price, add a reply. Hi there, our pricing depends on the package. Here's a link to learn more, and then you insert the link. And then perhaps you can ask a follow-up question. Would you like me to send you a snapshot of what the packages we offer are? You can use ChatGPT to help write those messages, and it's going to be tailored to you and your business. But you can start with a prompt like, write 5 short, friendly, automated responses for my ManyChats that answer my frequently asked questions about my business, hours, and pricing. Let's move on to Tito. This works on your website. It's a small chat bubble that pops up when visitors arrive. It combines live chat with AI automation. You can respond manually or set up a pre-written AI-assisted replies. Again, free plan is available with basic automation. And how to prompt or use it? Inside Tito, you'll build chat flows or use their built-in AI called Liro. Liro can answer questions using information you upload, like your frequently asked questions page or your About Us text. An example would be for ChatGPT to help you prep for Tito content would be write short, friendly chatbot messages for Tito that greets visitors, ask if they need help, and share store hours and contact information. Then finally, Facebook Messenger. This is built directly into your Facebook page settings. There's no extra apps needed. It's ideal for basic automations like greeting messages, frequently asked questions, and instant replies. How to use it. You'll find in your Facebook page inbox automated responses. There you can customize replies for common actions. Whoops. And those common actions could be like instant greeting when someone messages your page, frequently asked questions with preset answers to common questions, and you can customize your away messages. Again, use ChatGPT to write those short responses before you paste them in. An example prompt would be, write 3 short, natural-sounding messenger auto replies, 1 for greeting, 1 about my business hours, and 1 that offers a link to my website. That's a lot, and like I said, Chatbox could be its own session, but getting help in that for whatever tool you want to use can be found in ChatGPT just by asking the questions you would normally ask me or someone else that might be able to tell you how to do it. All right. Now that we're finished with chatbots, I know that there might have been questions about that, or it might have been just so much information you're still wheeling. But once people start engaging with your business, you need a way to stay on top of it all. That's where a CRM or customer relationship management system comes in. Think of it as your digital memory, a smart notebook that never forgets a detail. It keeps track of who reached out, what they asked, and when you should follow up next. Tools like HubSpot, Zoho, or Freshsales are great starting points, and most of them, again, have free versions that are perfect for small businesses. AI makes these tools more powerful. You can use it to analyze your client notes, organize leads by interest level, and even recommend follow-up actions. For example, try this. Summarize the last 3 emails from this client and suggest a polite next step to move the conversation forward. That's how you maintain momentum without dropping the ball. It's not about automating relationships. It's about using AI to strengthen them. Make sure that every customer feels remembered, valued, and cared for. Let's talk about CRM tools, the customer relationship management systems. These are like digital notebooks that remember every detail about your customers, who they are, what you last discussed, and when to reach out again. If you've ever lost track of a lead or forgotten to follow up, a CRM will change your life. HubSpot is one of the most popular options. It's excellent for managing both marketing and sales in one place. The free version is very powerful. You can store contact, track deals, send follow-up emails, and even see if someone opened your message. It's great if you manage a lot of client inquiries or newsletter signups. Zoho is a bit more customizable. It's perfect if you run a service-based business and want to track not just contacts, but also calls, projects, and tasks. It also has a built-in assistant named Zia, who can analyze your data and tell you what's working best. Freshsales is my favorite for beginners because it's clean, simple, and user-friendly. It integrates your calls and emails right inside the system so you don't have to jump between tools. All 3 have free versions and they're surprisingly easy to start with. Again, this is where ChatGPT can help you learn faster, or Perplexity, or Claude, or whatever you're using. As I mentioned, you can actually ask it to walk you through how to use each tool. For example, explain how to use HubSpot CRM to track my ideas and set follow-up reminders. Or once you start using them, you can prompt, summarize the last 3 emails from this client and suggest a polite next step. You can even ask it to design your CRM workflow. Create a simple CRM process for my small business from first inquiry to follow-up. And again, ask me the questions you need to know to make this flow targeted to my business. These systems aren't about adding more tech. They're about helping you stay organized, responsive, and personal with every customer. Think of them as your digital memory, always keeping your client relationships at your fingertips. Now, let's talk about something that separates good businesses from great ones: follow-up. Most sales are lost simply because nobody follows up. And that's where AI quietly shines. Here's a few ways to use it. 1, write personalized thank yous. After a meeting or event, you can ask it, write a short, warm thank you email to a potential client I met at a community expo. Mention our shared interest in sustainability. Then you can edit and send it in seconds and still sound like you. 2, AI can generate systems that keep you on track. Prompt example would be, help me design a 30-day follow-up schedule for new leads with 3 email touch points and 1 phone call reminder. Then you can set it up in your CRM or calendar app so nothing slips through the cracks. 3, automate without losing the human touch. You can store your preferred messages and let AI schedule them when certain triggers happen, like when a customer signs up or completes a purchase. A prompt example would be, write an automated message to send 7 days after a purchase that checks in and invites feedback in a friendly conversational tone. The goal isn't to sound robotic, it's to make every customer feel noticed. Even a quick follow-up can turn a one-time buyer into a loyal advocate. Let's move to the bigger picture. Customer experience. That's the feeling people have every time they interact with your business. AI can make that experience smoother and more personal. 1, you can track satisfaction through surveys. You can ask AI to create and even analyze simple feedback. A prompt could be, write 5 short customer service satisfaction questions for a small hospitality business with answer options from 1 to 5. Once you get responses, you can say, summarize the main themes from these survey results and suggest one area for improvement. Tools like Google Forms, Typeform, or SurveyMonkey handle this beautifully, and you can automate them to send after purchases or appointments. Send to people after purchases or appointments, sorry. And 2, summarize feedback automatically. Instead of reading every single comment, you can paste the responses into ChatGPT and ask for a summary. It can group comments into praise, suggestions, and complaints so you can see patterns quickly. And 3, spot reoccurring issues. AI can help you notice what customers keep mentioning, maybe slow responses, unclear directions, or a feature request. Then you can address these proactively before they turn into frustration. The trick is to blend automation with empathy, letting AI do the sorting and summarize so you can focus on listening and improving. So, how do we bring all this together? Think of AI as part of your weekly rhythm. Maybe on Mondays, you use it for planning, generating posts, reviewing analytics, organizing ideas. Then midweek, it could help you brainstorm campaigns or draft outreach emails. Fridays could be for reflection, asking AI to summarize the week. For instance, list 3 marketing wins, 3 follow-up opportunities, and 1 customer insight from this week's data. Those small, steady habits compound. They build upon each other. You'll see clearer communication, smoother sales systems, and a stronger relationship with your clients, all without adding extra hours to your week. AI doesn't simply replace your work ethic, it multiplies your clarity. So before I go into the big key takeaways, are there any questions sitting in the chat box?
Not at this time.
All righty. Before we begin this wrap up, I want to just share with you these key takeaways. First, AI saves time, but only when you use it with purpose. Start with one process that drains you, like posting, writing, or organizing, and let AI handle that first draft or structure. Second, AI strengthens connection by helping you understand and serve your audience better. It can show you patterns, feedback, customer preferences, and timing, so your outreach feels personal and timely. Third, AI magnifies your impact. When you stay human at the center of it, it's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters, better, smoother, and with more confidence. Now, I'd love for you to think about what one thing you'll try this week, maybe even today. Perhaps you'll test an AI tool for scheduling posts, maybe write a follow-up email sequence, or use prompts to outline a blog. Start small. The more you use these tools, the more naturally they'll fit into your workflow. You'll stop thinking of it as an AI and start thinking of it as just another part of how you work smart. And now that brings us to the end of this session, AI for marketing, sales, and customer experience. We've explored how AI can support your business from the inside out, from structure and systems to creativity and connection. My hope is that you walk away not just with ideas, but with confidence that AI isn't something to fear, but something to shape. And stay tuned, because next we're going to take things a step further in the session, AI tools for team management, technology, and work-life balance. We'll explore how to collaborate better, automate more, and protect your time, because a strong business needs a strong leader behind it. Thanks so much for joining me. And remember, every time you open one of these tools, you're not just using AI, you're helping your business tap its full potential.
Okay, so that brings us to our question and answer segment. I'm just going to pay attention to the chat before I start to give a few announcements. So far, I see comments saying, thank you, Celia.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for the wealth of information. Great info. And as the comments pour in, I can just go ahead and say that the VI SBDC has so much more in store for you as VI small businesses. You can visit our website at www.visbdc.org. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Subscribe to the VI SBDC YouTube channel for new uploads of our webinars. We encourage you to download the VI SBDC app on your mobile device from the appropriate app store. And so I don't see any questions, Celia.
All right. It's either overwhelming or very clear.
Everyone is saying thank you. So I guess I'll use the remainder of the time to just highlight a few training seminars we have coming up. We do have a question. How do we get a copy of the presentation? A copy of today's presentation will be attached to the post survey email that will be sent out in a few. So just look out for that email and let me share my screen so everyone can see how to find
Okay, I will stop
our
sharing.
upcoming events. Okay, so this is the VISPDC training portal. And so for everyone here, if you want to be able to view this session again in its pre-recorded format, I encourage you to go here from our website, www.vispdc.org/workshops. It'll take you to this page. And so therefore you would select on demand at the very top, type, and then you search. And therefore you'll be able to see everything that we've done in the past. So we have Celia presented on AI in financials, operations, and strategies. We have our trademark basics. We have the importance of creative advertising and marketing, and a few more that are going to appear after this session. And so I want to take you to what's coming. So tomorrow we have three different events happening at the VISPDC. So in person, we have our Workplace Forward Evolving Hiring and Management Practices right here, our location on the OEK campus, the former Westbay Supermarket building on the second floor in our Eastern Training Room. We have that session live. Agribusiness Center later in the evening for officials and farmers. There will be a session on agribusiness financial training. They're focusing on inventory and balance sheets, and that would be part one. And then we also have a webinar here tomorrow with the USPTO. You guys can jump on online, and it's going to focus on small business owners learning how to contract with the USPTO. On the 29th, the Agribusiness Center will be featuring the part two of the inventory and balance sheet. That's going to be 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. On October 29th, we have how to develop and maintain a strong brand, keeping your small business relevant. That's going to be with the VISPDC advisor, Liza. It's going to walk us through those marketing essentials. And to close off the month, we have the USPTO coming back again. They're going to be presenting maintaining your federal trademark registration. So we do have plenty events all the way up till December. Go ahead and register. And so with that being said, let me stop sharing. Celia, let me just see if I have any more questions for you. Okay, we have a comment. Amazing. This training is great, and I can't wait to utilize these tools in AI. Great presentation. Is Workplace Forward going to be done in SDX? That's a question I'll explore with the VIUSEN. That's who our training is in collaboration with. They do have a center in St. Croix, so stay tuned. And if we do set up that workshop for St. Croix, visit the VISPDC training portal and you'll be able to register. If you're already connected to us, once we have that event organized, you're going to get an email with a conference announcement. So we don't have any more questions. So here's a friendly reminder. Check your email in a few minutes. You're going to get a copy of today's presentation. Please fill out that survey. It allows us to render these services complimentary to you. So on behalf of the entire VISPDC network, we thank you for your time and attendance, and we wish you a productive rest of the day. Take care.
Absolutely. Have a good day, everyone.